What's up, everybody? Welcome to Keep It a BENJY, and that's how I'm gonna keep it. Hocus 45th started this challenge. Drop your flag. I have saw a handful of individuals follow suit and give him his flowers. However, the age group, Hocus 45th included, to my assumption, it's all like 40 and up. When was the last time people in the 40 and up age group was really dictating the playing field in the streets? Can Hocus 45th and everyone participating mean well? Absolutely. Can they be doing the best that they can? Absolutely. Sometimes you gotta start somewhere. And this might be where they feel like they gonna start. In my opinion, it is not the right approach. It seems like it's more about getting internet validation than trying to aid the environment or this gang culture, right? Now, you are responsible for yourself at the end of the day, before anything. So if they doing the right things for themselves, I can't knock that. Because I do see how, personally, it's a good thing. I'm seeing how, the law enforcement knows that you denounced your gang involvement. You might have certain enemies and stuff who will give you a pass and not do something to you now. I get it. But I don't see where the help is going. Like, where's the help in the gang members, or where's the help in the environment that has been so out of whack that makes you feel like you want to remove yourself, right? Because ain't nothing wrong with having organized an organization. It's just based upon what is that organization based on? What is the goal? What is the common goal? What are we trying to achieve? What is the structure? Because as long as we can have some good goals that we set out to accomplish, and we have a structuring for this organization, and we uphold these guidelines, any and everyone can win. But that comes with a lot of accountability and responsibility, and people don't want that. This is why it's easier for a person like Hocus 45th to just say, hey, me and myself, I'm dropping my flag, and seek all of that notoriety on him, himself as an individual, than it is for him to hit these trenches and speak as a fellow, whoever you guys are, as a fellow member, as a fellow gang member, and y'all give me y'all ear. Because you're always going to lend the ear more to a person who you can relate to, right? A lot of these, I ain't gonna even say younger dudes, because it's a lot of older cats who share this same viewing point. But of the lifestyle in general, it's a strong percentage of people who look at a person who dropped a flag as a no good person, as a person who failed their mission. People don't have respect for people who do that. When you want to change your lifestyle, it's a way you go about it. You got a dishonorable discharge, and you have an honorable discharge. When you remove yourself from being a member of the team, you do not have the same access you once had. Your keys and passcodes and all that stuff do no longer work. When you pull up, you are not the homie in this type of regard. You the homie, or you the friend, or you whoever, but you are not a member of this team anymore. So if you dropping out your flag and all these things, how are you going to reach the youth? How are they going to actually resonate with what you kicking? Because if you sit there talking about, yeah, I went through this, I went through that, I endured this, I got this story, I witnessed this, and I'm you, but I'm just the person who's more scarred up and more wounded, physically, mentally, emotionally, however. And I'm telling you now, you guys don't want to take this path. That's going to be hard to do when you're approaching these situations as a person who is no longer one of them. And it don't have to be just for your gang. It could be in any gang. That's why when they teach, why do you think when they do scared straight programs, they have people who's convicts teaching people, you know what I mean, in these juvenile halls and all that stuff, what is going to happen to them and what's in store for them if they keep down the same path they doing. Because the person who's a part of them in some type of way is going to resonate more than a person who's you sitting on a construction site with a yellow vest telling these young dudes something or these young girls something. That don't always hit the same. Just like if you want your kids to go be an athlete, you probably want to get them in front of some fellow type of athlete, coach, whatever and stuff to be about bettering them as an athlete, entertainment, whatever. You're not taking your kid to see the chef and you want the kid to learn a jump shot, right? It's like clout chasing, because anytime you associate the word challenge with anything in social media, you looking for a viral moment. Some of y'all gonna say, well, if we push an anti the streets and anti the gangs and drop the flags, that should go viral. Yeah, if it's genuine and it actually has a great outcome. In my opinion, it haven't been like a wildfire. It haven't even been like covered in certain many, you know what I mean? Like it's not that big of a thing. I'm not seeing it being a big old thing. You don't have no responsibility and you running away from accountability when you say, you know what, the house is hard, I'ma just exit. Like a deadbeat father, deadbeat mother, deadbeat big homie. You don't be in the house tearing it down yourself and just keep going through it and exit out the back door. That's not respected. People confuse you being a part of something with you being on some criminal activity. People confuse you being where you from and being a part of what you a part of with you running around like a knucklehead. Most of these guys I'm seeing, in my opinion, that's dropping their flag, it don't look like they been on some knucklehead time or some wild active type of time in a minute. So it definitely seems like, okay, yeah, that makes sense in the world because you like ain't on that type of time anyway. So of course you don't care for that. But where is that giving any type of solution to the people that's very entrenched? Because the lifestyle gotta be all over the place, way out of whack. Gotta be, things done went left for the worst for you yourself to want to remove yourself from it. So that means, are we trying to help the environment? Like, or help that community or this lifestyle or the gang lifestyle and trying to help the whole situation so the community could be better and the environment can be better and, you know what I mean? Or are we just making these public claims for ourselves so that way, the police know we not that, certain people know we not that, get some points and validation on the internet? Is that what we doing? Everybody knows that to help the youth not dive into the streets or criminal activity, you have to put an option in front of them. You have to have an alternative. A group of grown men that ain't been on no YN type of time anyway, dropping their flags on the internet does not do no good service for the community or the gangland or however you flip it. The situation should have followed up with like, this what we doing. I think it would have been more respected if a handful of these dudes who share this viewpoint, like, hey, forget all the trying to cause harm to each other, forget all that, the unnecessary and the nonsense part of the whole everything. Let's remove that from how we operating. Let's go create something. Maybe a boxing gym, maybe a fitness gym, maybe a school of arts, maybe, music, whatever. We pushing this way. And y'all out in the world and y'all directing people to y'all location, karate, boxing, whatever. Painting. Man, I need you to pull up. I want to see you today. Man, I want to see you. Make sure you this. Make sure you this. That's how it go. You know what I mean? You got options and you got alternatives. Because that's what it takes for anybody. Even if you're a grown member, you're going to need something else to occupy your time. You don't tell a person to drop his flag, but he still got the same script hanging on the street down the block with a 211 or whatever dudes is drinking. You just ain't got the bandana hanging out your flag or out your pocket no more. Eventually, a person is going to result into the same thing they was into yesterday. Or that same element that they were once a part of yesterday is going to still find them. Because they are going through the same path every day, the same pattern of behavior. The only thing that's different is that they just don't have a gang, they don't have a flag, because everybody done dropped the flag. Which some dudes probably gonna still end up getting hurt about that, because a lot of people ain't gonna get the memo. And some people, they gonna still get hurt because they gonna become weak and become vulnerable, because they're gonna think just because you want to stop now, but you did a whole lot before, you think we're going to forgive you and let it go because you call it quits. You want to be an upset kid and, you want to turn the game off now. That ain't how it works. You know what I'm saying? You got to teach that as well. You got to teach as well that. And that's why it's even more important to get with the youth. Not just parade ourselves as 45-year-old men and stuff like that, getting notoriety and validation on the internet, but let's hit the youth, so that way if you're trying to prevent it, guess what? Let me give y'all some sauce. The sooner y'all stop, the better, because the more enemies you actually accumulate, the harder it's going to be for you to move around, even if you do make the decision one day to not be some type of active gang member. But that's all I wanted to speak on. I looked at it like it was some clout. I looked at it like it's more so internet validation. Don't want to take no credit from them. If they actually genuine, shout out to them for that. But I don't agree with the approach. I'm seeing a lot of people just using it for content, not actually looking at it for what it actually is going to turn into or what's to come from it. I ain't saying it's bad. I'm not mad at them for dropping their flags. I'm not mad at anybody who's not in agreement of how the gang stuff is. But if you got a hand in it, help while you got a hand in it. You can't help when you ain't got a hand in it. You become at it, talking at it, attacking at it, not talking with it. You know what I mean? Not changing with it. It's a big difference. I'm going to keep it a Benji like I always do. Y'all keep it a Benji for me in the comments. Let me know y'all take on everything. No disrespect intention.